Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Skeshbook podcast. And today we're going to talk about art school. Should we go to art school or just skip it? And let's just jump right into that. And we are live. Yes. Welcome to the podcast, Praveen.
Hey guys.
Hey
I'm
guys.
Praveen.
Praveen.
I guess we've already met, so
Exactly. So as you may or may not have noticed, Praveen is a video producer right here, working with me on the daily basis, and I thought he'll join the podcast from now on because he's an artist as well, right?
yeah.
What kind of art do you do, Praveen?
I am a musician. I'm a singer. Musician.
look at
I don't
that.
compose music, but I'm a singer. So.
Exactly.
yeah.
You know, if you look closely on the camera right now, you can see the guitar behind him,
Oh, right.
which he purposely placed right there to show that he's a musician.
I'm a musician.
Anyways, right? So, we'll get straight into the topic.
Sure.
Yeah. So, here we have a question today, right? We have a big question, which actually Praveen came up with the topic for this podcast. I asked him yesterday, like, Praveen, man, what topic shall we do for the podcast, right? And you were like, what were you?
Yeah.
What did he say?
Because I've been through this
Yes.
and I had a lot to say.
You do?
So yeah,
But you've not gone. Oh yeah, you have gone to art school.
I have. We've spoken
We're
about
both.
it.
Yeah. Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
All
So
right.
Art schools, are they worth it?
Exactly. So that is a question. Is it worth it to go to an art school or study at an art school in this day and age, in this 21st century? That is a question for this podcast. Is it worth it, Praveen?
Well, to begin with, I did take visual communication.
Give some background context.
So
How old are you?
I'm 21.
What have you done?
So I'm 21, and again, so I do music, right? So I thought it would be a good idea to actually take visual communication, which is not related to music, but yet it's kind of related to arts. So I took that, and I did try to do my master's on art. I think that's when I started learning more about art schools, and then I'm like, okay, is it actually worth it? And I think you've been through the same thing,
Yeah.
right? Have you ever tried to do like master's on?
Masters in art?
Because you did take art.
I did. Okay, so now to give context for my situation,
Yeah.
right? So I studied electronic media, BSc electronic media. That's Bachelor of Science. I don't know why they call it Bachelor of Science, for Christ's sake.
That doesn't sound like art.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like art at all. So I did BSc electronic media, which is sort of like it's all about electronic visual communication mediums like newspaper, radio, TV, film,
Right.
and things like that. I studied that in here in India. Before that, while I graduated 12th, right, I was very keen on entering Cal Arts.
Same.
California. You
Same.
say
Yeah.
everybody wants to enter Cal
Yeah.
Arts until they hear about the tuition fee.
Right.
It's like, yeah, sign away your life, your kidney, and your heart, and you're done with it. Or well, you're just gonna go into a couple of $100,000 of debt to get into it. So I tried to go into Cal Arts, or I wanted to go into some American university. Again, me being a kid here in India, my perspective was, you know what? If you go all out and go and get into a good university, learn some good art, and I thought I had this weird idea, which I think right now is completely stupid, which is I thought if I went abroad and studied film or art and came back to India, I'll have more reputation.
Right.
Or I'll have more opportunities than the next guy who studied here in the local university.
I still kind of do hold that opinion. I do see that happening.
Oh.
You really don't see it.
I'll tell you why. Probably not in the art field. It's not going to work out. You hold that thought because we need to get back to this reputation thing, right? So that was the idea, but I couldn't get in. One, I don't think even if I had applied, I didn't even apply. Because, like people around me told me it was a stupid idea. Don't do that. Because the tuition fees were insane. Like 20?
I remember the number. It was 64 lakhs Indian rupees,
Yes.
right? 64 lakhs
Oh,
for a year,
for a year. Oh, for a year.
right?
Yeah.
For a year,
For me,
or for the entire course. But yet 64 lakhs.
64
had to
lakhs.
be
So
in the
64
bank.
lakhs, to give people some context, that's approximately $90,000.
$90,000.
90,000 US dollars.
Yeah.
And for me, I wanted to study animation. And that was around about 1.2 crores. So that was what? That's like 150 or $160,000. I may be wrong, but I remember, I mean, including all the flight and
Right,
going
yeah.
there, staying there, all the living
Exactly,
expenses.
right? 64 lakhs is just for the course, I think.
Exactly.
Like living and like food and all that, like everything's on you. Like
Oh,
that's
yes.
a completely different
Oh,
expense
yes.
that you need to take care of.
Oh, yes.
God. And CalArts is in California, right?
California. Oh, thank goodness. I didn't go there. I mean, to all the folks who are living in California who are listening to this podcast, good for you. I mean, if you could afford to live there, I mean, good for you.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think, maybe for me at the time, the cultural aspects of California would have suited. Right now, I don't think. I'm more of a Texas guy right now.
Really?
Oh boy, I'm gonna get some. Anyways, let's not get into that. So that is one. That is a big thing. So what I did was I had an all or nothing mindset. I'm still working on that. You need.
So you still do have that mindset, right?
I still do,
Yeah.
but you shouldn't always have that mindset. But at the same time, you shouldn't never completely ignore it. Sometimes you need to go all in.
Yeah.
Sometimes, but not all the time.
Yeah.
That's another thing, right? So what I did was I got into a local university that was 10 minutes away from my house. Like Hindustan College of Arts and Science. Oh man, the stark contrast between CalArts and Hindustan. The day I went in, the first day,
Yeah.
and guess what? I even got like a 50% scholarship because I did well in my 12th.
Oh, wow.
In my final high school, right? So I got a 50% scholarship. You know what the fees was?
Yeah.
75,000 for the entire 3 years. 75,000 rupees. That means that's like $1,000.
Damn.
Which is a lot here in India. I mean, 1.5 lakhs to 2 lakhs is what people pay for Viscom, right?
Yeah,
Here, right?
yeah.
And I got a 50% scholarship. But compared to the American
Yeah, that's
thing,
nothing.
right? Yeah, that's nothing. But also, the way the first day I went into the college, saw the classroom. It was leaking water, right? And there were dry walls. The walls were cracking, and like couple of years after I graduated, I saw a news story where the college buildings were crumbling down.
Oh God.
Right? I don't know if it's true or not, but hey, that was the case.
That's what you get for $1,000.
That's what you get for $1,000. I mean, yeah, right. I mean, I couldn't complain. It was
Well, it is apparently cheap if you compare it to even Indian colleges.
Indian
I think
colleges,
For my course, I
yes.
paid like 2.5
2.5
in
lakhs.
Wales University.
Oh yeah, that's like $3,000, $3,500.
Yeah.
Yeah, for 3 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. So to give a summary of my college education, I would say that the plus points were the friends and the community
Yeah.
and the group learning, right? The mentors, I got lucky with the one or two. One or two were really good. I had some one or two people who were really nice. The other mentors were not good teachers, but good people, right?
Right.
They're good people. Like, I like to talk to them. They're very caring and all that. But when it comes to education, maybe, you know what? Yeah. So that's the question.
Right.
And also at the same time, right? We with the resources, I wasted a lot of my time during college.
Okay.
Wasted a lot of time. I'm going to riff off a bit from the topic. I wasted a lot of my time during college, in the sense, the first year was all about like, oh, college. Oh yes, finally. I don't have
Was
to
it
go to
everything that you expected college to be like? Because the movies exaggerate that thing.
Yeah. Oh,
Broke
boy.
my heart when I went in the first day.
I don't think Hindustan exactly. Yeah.
No, right?
It's not like that kind of college.
Yeah.
I don't think you cannot expect that kind of college experience in most places in India. Maybe some colleges are probably like that.
Yeah, I
don't
did hear
think.
some things in Mumbai.
Yeah, there are
Pretty
some
good.
college. Yeah, depends on what you want out of college. That's also
Yeah.
another thing. If you want partying and stuff like that, you need to look out for different
Colleges
places.
like that, yeah.
But with that said, right, Hindustan was nothing like that. And I think that is good because it would have been an extra distraction. I was already distracted. And Sashi right here, who's behind the camera, he studied Viscom. I studied EM, which are basically the same course, except they do drawing. And my idea was like, I already knew drawing. I was actually drawing as well as the drawing teacher. So I was like, why should I learn drawing? Right? So I thought I'll just give that thing up. I'll study film. I'll just do drawing on the side, YouTube on the side, get that thing up, get a business out of it, and hopefully eventually get into America. That was like my stupid. It's like every single Indian kid's times were different back then. We were not as global as it is right now. I mean, 2010 things are and were global.
2010, you were in college?
No, 2012.
God.
Yeah. 2012 I was in college, right? So it was global, but it wasn't as global as it is right now. And I thought the only way I could make a living out of art or films is to get into States, get into United States.
Yeah.
Thankfully, I didn't have to. I'm doing happy, right? We're doing well right here, and thanks to the internet, obviously. Yeah. So I wasted a lot of time in college. I could have done a lot of projects. And me and Sashi, we always talk about this. On the third year, right? We were given a couple of short film projects.
Okay.
Oh boy, we finished those short films like 2 or 3 days. We came up with ideas and things, so many things. Right. Like 3 or 4 days, we got stuff done in like a week, and the quality of it was like really good. And my biggest regret, or our biggest regret, was we could have done this a whole damn 3 years.
Right.
We would have done a lot of good things. What happened was we got into the perfectionist trap of getting or making this one little piece of short film that is really, really good. We were not into the skill of it. I mean, that's what you do. When you're young, you don't think much about the long game, right? You're not into the skill of it. You're into the idea of how to break in. Right? How to break into the industry. And your answer to that, your solution to that question is always make this one little piece of short film or this one little piece of music that is so good and viral, and it goes boom, boom, hit, and you break in. That never happens, or most of the time it doesn't happen. It's like it happens for like 1% of the population, 0.1% of the population. Right. So that was the biggest mistake. Anyways, that was my college experience.
With my college, I don't know if I regret it. Yeah. I don't know if I regret going to college. That's because I never went to college.
You know what? I could say the same. Right? I could say the same.
I don't know. After a point, after first year, I just gave this letter to my HOD saying, I don't want to come. I don't want to.
You don't want to come?
I'll write the exams and I'll perform good. And I had the advantage because the rest of this, I mean, the rest, they were already busy with a lot of other things. They weren't really attentive. And I was like this first bench student kind of guy. So I did have a good relationship with my teachers, I think.
I did too. I was a class good kid. Everybody loved me.
I had the advantage of just letting them know like, hey, I think I can go out and actually concentrate more on music because I'm not really learning a lot from here. Even now, like the video editing, everything that I do here is something, the base I have is like the editing that I did with my iPad with the iMovie app. That's what I had. That's what I learned with. College didn't teach me.
You learned more from the internet than you did from college.
I did. Everything.
Same here. Same
music.
Thing.
I've not taken a single class for music.
Yeah. And how many shows have you done?
I've done so many, and
give an approximate number.
Probably like 125.
See?
And for some reason, it's gotten much better after COVID. People are getting like lesser shows after COVID, but for some reason, I'm getting like double more the shows that I got after. Like
more live shows, more online shows.
Yeah. Everything, singing, guitar, video editing, like literally a job that pays me constantly, right? Like I learned it out of YouTube. I don't know if I'm good at it.
But you're getting there. Yeah. I think you're fairly decent.
So yeah, I didn't learn anything out of college, but do I regret it? I don't know, because the question rises because of employment. Here, you didn't really ask for my college degree.
Oh yeah, I didn't even actually. Yeah, I didn't even ask him what
He
did
doesn't
he
even
study.
know if I went to college.
College. Yeah, I just got on him on a phone call.
Yeah, after you
Right.
saw one of my YouTube
videos
that I edited by myself out on YouTube.
Yeah, see, yeah. Then all of a sudden I liked it. I thought, if we could put in more work, he'll be able to develop a skill,
Yeah.
and we could use that.
Yeah.
And he was hired. Then after a week or so, you came in. It's like, hey, wait, what do you have a college degree?
So that's the thing. Here it works, and I do see it to be more sensible because I do see that you can get everything out of internet, right?
Yeah.
Like drawing camp, you can learn drawing out of internet.
That's right. That's I'm not going to say anything.
I did the plug for you.
Thank you.
Alright. So I see it more sensible that you don't actually need a college degree, but I do. Is it the same in like every place? I don't know.
I don't know. You know what? We'll pull this back in, right?
Yeah.
So we've established a context. We need to get to this employment aspect of things. So now the question is always the biggest question that we are trying to answer is it worth going to art school? So I thought I'll give two answers because it's not like a one size fits all question. I have two answers. One is yes, absolutely worth it.
Yeah.
You should go to an art school. And two, absolutely not.
Yeah.
Don't. Just skip it.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna sort of debate myself for both, and you reel things in, and we'll see how this goes. So one, is it worth going to art school? Yes. Asterisks. Conditions applied. What is that condition? If you're not going into debt, go to an art school. If you have ready cash, go to an art school. If you can afford it and you can family stay above the water, go to an art school.
Yeah.
What do you get out of an art school? Number one, environment. Environment is very, very, very big. This whole idea and aspect of I'll do everything by myself will work for some time. If you're not a person with great sense of discipline that you can enforce on a consistent basis, if you don't have the right environment, you cannot learn things on your own, right? So going to an art school is very good because it gives you the environment. And also the biggest offering that I feel an art school gives is mentors, right? You need teachers. This whole idea of I'm a self-taught artist.
Right.
I'm a guy who learned drawing all by himself through YouTube. I'll tell you. I'm your typical example of a self-taught artist, quote unquote, right? I don't think I'm self-taught.
Okay.
What I do think is I've learned a lot from bits and pieces of information from tons of people, and I've been my own mentor. My own feedback mechanism. Now here's the beautiful thing about learning. Here's how you actually learn something. When you want to learn something, you gotta take that skill, divide it into multiple little small chunks, and practice that thing multiple times. Practice is not where the thing ends. You know where it ends? There's a fourth step to it, which is feedback. Right? So let's say you're playing a song. You've played it 3 times, but you've never gotten feedback for that song. You never know what's right and what's wrong with it.
Yeah.
Right? But when you play it in front of a crowd, you get an idea for what ticks and what doesn't. So you'll change things accordingly based on the feedback. That is the thing that a mentor gives, a teacher gives. Feedback. Feedback it seems like a very scientific, complicated, complex term.
Right.
But feedback is possibly one of the biggest offerings of an art school. It seems so underrated, but it is the most biggest thing. Feedback.
Right.
That's what an art school gives. It gives you environment, mentors who gives you feedback, and also right kind of structure.
Yeah.
Because everything that you want to learn right now is on the internet.
Right.
What's lacking is structure, right? People need a self-structure and accountability, right?
Yeah.
Accountability in the sense you need to sit down and do it, right?
Yeah.
So that is the thing.
Yeah.
That is the biggest offerings of an art school. So if you're not going to break your bank, not going to go into debt, go to an art school, get into a good art school. I would say you do that. Right. You'll save a lot of time. You'll learn things in like 2 or 3 years rather than, it'll take you probably 5 years. For me, I could have learned what I've learned in 3 years than 5-6 years, right? That is my thing.
Yeah.
So that is yes, right?
Well, with that, like what I think, right, is till school, like this is not just art school, like even for like normal colleges, the concept behind college, what I think is important is till school you have something structured, like you have something set up. You don't have to worry what you want to do after 7th because you have 8th. You know what I mean? Like after 7th grade you have 8th.
Yeah, you have structure. Yeah, you have some hierarchy to look forward to. Yeah,
so what I feel like is if you're ready by 12th grade, you're actually done and you actually know what you want to do. I don't think you should actually consider college if you actually know what you really want to do. But if you really want to take some time and actually learn more,
if you know what you want to do, you shouldn't consider college. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, because like you said, environment, right?
What if you want to do, if you know what you want to do, but it requires college?
You want to be a professor?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Sure, then of course you want to consider college. So, but the reason I said that was because for college, right? I completely agree with you on about the whole environment thing. But to me, like personally, I think that's the only thing that college offers you right now at this year. I think that's all you can get out of college.
This year it's gone. We need to talk about the corona.
Not the corona. I mean, except for the corona. Like for this generation, I think college offers one thing that you get unique that you cannot get in like internet would be the environment.
Exactly.
Get more contacts, get good mentors to actually like make you sit down, give you that structured path, and all that, right? But if you can afford it, right? Like when it comes to like, that's exactly why I wanted to go to CalArts. CalArts had its own stadium and like did like weekly shows for you to play your own concerts and stuff.
Right.
And I was like, oh my God, I want that. But is it worth 64 lakhs? Something that I would go on debt? I don't know about that. Like, that's why I would consider college, like, I did not go consider college to be like something that I would invest on so much. Because the only thing I'm getting out of is environment, which is important.
And mentors.
Mentors, again, YouTube, you're learning out of it. I feel like
that's not enough, trust me.
Really?
Yeah. If you So it's a couple of ways to look at it. What is the cost to benefit ratio, right? If YouTube is free, and obviously you're getting way more than what you're paid for on YouTube, so which is good. What do you value more, time or money is the question. Now, if you value time more than money, right? I would get a mentor. I'm actually, once drawing camp is done, I'll probably start looking for good mentors. I'll start learning from them even more. Like people are way up beyond my abilities.
Okay.
Because if you value time, you throw money at it. More money at things. If you have the money, obviously, don't go into debt again. Right? I mean, if you can afford to do it, throw money at things because it saves you time, which is way more valuable than money, and you can actually gain money or earn money, but probably not time, right? Slightly more valuable. So the economics of it slightly, and economics or how things work is slightly different, but that is one.
But I kind of see it in a different perspective because with art, this is how I feel, correct me if I'm wrong, but with art, you don't really have, compared to other professions, I think the guarantee of earning a lot out of it is actually a bit low compared.
Way low, right? Not even a bit low. It's
that's
way low.
why with art schools, I don't consider like taking college because is it gonna get you back what you're investing? I think the ratio is way low.
That is very true. And here's the thing, because in art schools, what they're teaching you is art, but not the business side of things, which they really need to get on top of. In fact, actually, we need to get on top of that in drawing camp. Once drawing camp's over, we need to show people the business side of things. I think we're already doing that with all the podcasts and stuff. Anyways, they don't teach you the business. Now, if you're a clever, intelligent person, which is a rarity, right? It usually doesn't happen. What I mean is like someone who can hustle and just knows how to look at the things, has a good kind of mindset, good parenting. So many things, that needs to go under that clever, intelligent person, like good childhood, good parenting. If you're not blessed with any of those things, well, I wasn't. I had good parenting. But if you don't have that, you cannot actually look at you don't know how to take that art, package it into some sort of a product or a service that you can market it to other people, which is what the art schools need to teach, which they don't at the moment. And for example, a cousin of mine, right? She went to art school in London.
Okay.
The moment, okay, I would say in her case, my perspective would be, I don't know what she learned out there, but I don't think it's that much from what I'm seeing.
Okay.
Right? I think they gave her an experience. An experience is way different than information and knowledge.
Yeah.
I think she has never attended a structured art program before. I've told this to her actually before this. I've talked to her about this. I've told her, from my perspective, I don't think it was worth going into debt to go into an art school. Right?
Right. Yeah.
And I don't think she learned much judging from what I see, but rather they gave her an experience which actually fools one into thinking that they've learned something. I can give a great experience, right? I can make you draw a couple of scribbly lines and just do a bunch of things and make you feel high, rile you up, and do a bunch of experimental painting and drawing sessions with a lot of things. And at the end of it, you'll feel, oh boy, it's so great. I learned so many things. But there is no information. There's no substance in it. It's just pleasure without anything else. So in her particular case, I always feel then that, and it's very sad, which is she had to come back in the middle because of COVID.
Oh God.
Right? She's from London. It's like, yeah, it wasn't good. It was a 6 month.
So was it like online classes after that?
I think so. I'm not sure. Yeah, it's like, why would you pay so much for that?
That's the worst.
So for a guy who knows how to look, the stuff I'm then seeing over there, it's like, I know an online course that gives you that.
Yeah.
The same amount of stuff.
Yeah.
It's like you can argue as much as you want.
Yeah.
I've seen other people do it. Give you the same thing through an online course. Right? An online course, an online program.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't see the worth in it. So in that particular case, I would say no. I would say, you shouldn't go to art school when, again, you're going into debt. Don't do it.
Yeah.
Right? And also, do know that most of the things that you're learning in art school you can get that for free or for cheap and for faster.
Definitely cheaper, for sure.
Definitely cheaper. Actually, way cheaper. I mean, there are tons of courses online that are so cheap, that comes along with like 8-week and 12-week mentors.
I think the internet has completely changed
the game.
College,
exactly.
I think that's why colleges are not as valuable as they were before.
Actually, after me getting into drawing camp and selling online courses and everything, I see why people get into the business of education.
Yeah.
I never understood the business of education. People always say, some people get into education to make money. It's like, I never got that. Right? Now I see it. It's like they're selling things like candies. A candy costs $112,000. It's like if I get to sell 12 candies, all of a sudden $1 million. Right? That's the mindset the colleges or some colleges have when it comes to selling these courses. They're just offering these units of $100,000 packages that they just put together, right? And they're just giving it away. And you get 50 students, right? Boom. And you do that for like 50 courses, boom, you get a college, right? And you just pay the teacher like $100,000 a year, right? The worth of one student, right? I don't think they're even paid that much, but right? This is exactly what's happening. And most colleges are actually looking at this from a business standpoint rather than an education standpoint. They're in it for the business of it rather than the education of it. That is one. That is number one. Number two, most art schools don't have good mentors. If you're lucky, you'll find a good one. If you're unlucky, well, you might find a good mentor who may appear good to you. That is different being an actual good mentor. If you had no mentors and you get some mentor, it'll be like, oh God, they're heavenly, right? That is the thing. If you had multiple mentors, if you have learned from multiple people, you know what to look for in a good teacher and a good learning experience. you'll be like, man, I don't think that person is that good. Especially man, in this Corona world, things have changed.
Right.
Nobody's going to school anymore. What do you say? School or colleges anymore?
To actually, your cousin's story actually, like one of my friends, he applied for Netherlands or Scotland, right?
Oh
And
yeah,
Yasser.
Yeah. What happened?
Yeah, so he got it. He's in. But now there's a possibility that it might fall into online classes.
Are you kidding me? Is the question,
right?
It's like, would you pay $100,000 for an online class? Heck no.
Right.
Hell no. No, absolutely not.
It's that's why, like, the previous point, to wrap it up, right? Like, just education, like, will you be paying so much just to learn something out of it? You can get it for a much cheaper rate. Don't consider college.
Don't do it.
But with the experience, with the environment and the learning and the mentor, and you can afford it without debt, definitely take art college, right?
Yes.
But yeah, this COVID, oh God.
This COVID thing has changed the world. It has leveled the playing field and put reputed art universities and colleges on the level of online courses. Small online courses. And they're doing worse than these guys because they have absolutely no experience teaching online. Right? And they don't know how the mechanics of it works. It's like how to hold someone's attention, or the whole thing is a whole mess. But I would only pay that much money if I'm actually going into college. If not, again, actually, you know what? If I had a really good mentor, right? If Aaron Blaze is coming and teaching, right? Aaron Blaze is a very reputed artist, right? He's like an animator. Worked for Disney. He directed Brother Bear. It's an animated movie. It won an Oscar.
I think I've seen that.
Yeah. So it's a very old animated film.
Yeah.
And if he was teaching, I would definitely, I would say I think 3 years with him, I would pay $100,000.
Really?
Yeah, I would. That's like, I see, again, I need to put everything aside in my life. I'd never go to an art school. I don't think that's an option for me anymore. Right? Like, I can afford it, but I don't think I will. Because I have business to run, I have people to take care of, it's like none of this. So that's out of the question. But what what I'm looking into these days is looking for mentors, who offers 12-week and 10-week mentorship, right? Because that is very good. You get focused learning, it's small period of time, you focus, get it done, move on to another subject. So that is the thing. So no, you shouldn't go to an art school if you go into debt. And do know that you're not going to find mentors easily. It's a gamble. You might be lucky. So you need to look into the courses and who are teaching those courses, and need to really look into those people. And even if they're good at their work, doesn't mean that they're good teachers. That's another thing. Some people are really good at what they do, but they're extremely bad teachers. I saw a master class of Martin Scorsese. It was horrible.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't like it. It's like Martin Scorsese is a fantastic filmmaker.
Oh.
Right?
Okay. Any movies that I might know?
Jesus Christ. I
don't know Martin him, Scorsese. I don't know him, alright.
I think Sashikant's going to hit you with the camera right now.
You know? Yes. What's any movie? Name a movie.
Goodfellas.
I was just talking about it
Taxi
in the morning.
Driver.
I didn't watch Taxi Driver.
Wolf of Wall Street.
I love Margaret Robbie.
There's so many other good films. What's that? Matt Damon and Leonardo DiCaprio. The Departed. Catch Me If You Can on the Spielberg. Okay. The Aviator. And
the Aviator.
Shutter Island.
Aviator as in the Tom Cruise movie, right?
Yeah, no. Aviator is the Leonardo DiCaprio movie.
Okay.
He poses as no. Yeah. It's Howard Hughes. Yeah, that is the movie. What else? There are tons. Shutter Island.
Oh, I love that movie.
Yeah, see, that's Martin Scorsese.
Jeez.
He's a really good film. He's also the person who called Marvel films an amusement theme park. So I wouldn't disagree. I'm a Marvel fanboy. So yeah, but I would say yes. But,
don't go there. I'm a Marvel fan.
No. I think you'll get his perspective once you actually get a lot into this. He wasn't wrong.
His masterclass sucked. So.
See, one of the greatest filmmakers of all time
could not teach online.
Yeah. And despite all the good production, I mean, he was talking about a lot of philosophical stuff, and it was just very important. You need to set the mindset right, and you need to get those things as a base. I do that too, but the communication of his ideas was not that great through words. He was good at communicating his ideas through film, but not through his words. Right. So just because someone's good at what they do doesn't mean they're good teachers.
No, to add on to that, you're actually a good teacher. I tell Shashi all the time.
I'm not that good, but I'm good teacher.
No, you're really good. I see other artists, right? And then I'm like, first of all, I didn't know anything about art till I came here, as in like the art that you do, right? And I see other people courses and like when they teach on YouTube or like their own courses, right? They draw really well, but it's so, I zone out so fast like when I'm listening to it. You're a really good teacher on that. I need to let you know that.
Thank you. The wallet is right there. There's $100 in there.
I was actually expecting 500.
Come on, man! I just have 100. So one needs to be a good teacher, right? You gotta learn from good teachers. It's a thing. You gotta weigh things out. So that is a thing. So now I think we've gone too much into this question. Is it worth going to art school? It depends. Is the final answer.
Yeah.
You need to consider a lot of these factors: money, good teachers, mentors, environment. Is it worth it? Are you willing to trade in time?
Yeah.
All these things. You need to think about all these things. Now we'll come to something more Indian-esque. Right? Wait, how long are we into the podcast? How many minutes has been? 38 minutes.
38 minutes, jeez.
Right? I heard that.
I forgot I had a mic on. God. The thing is, I need to edit this after that. 38 minutes of footage.
You gotta listen to yourself right now. It's horrible. And you gotta look at your nose.
Oh God, yeah. You went there. I'm so insecure. Do not zoom in. God, I hate him.
See, your laughing is clipping the microphone right now.
Jeez. I need to work on my laugh.
Yeah. You definitely need to.
You need to work on your laugh.
I'm okay with it. I'm okay. I feel like I don't give a damn about what people think about.
It's because I don't make you insecure about it, while you always do that.
Actually, I don't care.
All right. What is the
Indian second part, which is studying abroad. So this is something which comes from a very good old fashioned Indian mindset. You gotta go to America, learn MBA, okay, do your masters, come back India, and all do good. Okay. So,
hey, you guys can be offended. We're Indians too, okay? We can.
I can make fun of my own accent.
Yeah.
So shut the hell up. So, yeah, it's not cultural appropriation if you do it. Anyways, right. So there's this whole Indian mindset, which is you go to abroad, you study it. Like I told you, right? The reputation of it. Which I think is completely stupid. And you said it's fine, right?
Yeah. Did you just call me stupid?
I know.
Subtle.
Blame the sinner. No, I mean blame the sin, not the sinner, man. So I blame the idea, not the person who holds the idea. Okay. So I think, right? This is so again. Told you, people go abroad, study, come back, so they get better opportunities and job here in the country. And I also think that people in the States do that. But I think they mostly do that for the experience of it rather than the reputation of it. Or States or Europe or whatever. Where it's like someone's outside of India, right? They'd go to countries like Japan, China, Singapore, right? And all the Eastern countries to go there, study and work there, to most likely gain an experience. We also do that to gain an experience, obviously. Obviously want to go and experience the good old traditional Western culture, right? That's all you want to do when you're young. Gotta go to CalArts. Gotta be in California.
Oh, you said CalArts. I just heard Kerala, and I'm like, what are we talking about? Wait a second.
We're gonna go to CalArts. Stay in California. Experience the
dream.
good old-fashioned California dream, right? Right. I don't think it's a dream anymore.
Yeah.
I heard a lot of homeless people.
We saw the fee structure. The dream was shattered.
Yeah. So, and guess what? The taxes are insanely high over there.
I completely
my
forgot about
cousin's
the
working
taxes.
there. My cousin's working there. Yeah.
Oh.
He's paying a lot of taxes. He's moving there from Texas to California. It's like,
Jeez.
what's wrong with you?
A lot of celebrities are actually moving from
Texas.
California to Texas.
Yeah. No, he got a job in California. So anyways, where were we? Yeah, people go abroad, right, to get these experiences.
Yeah,
people use education as an excuse to travel. It's like,
actually,
just buy a bloody flight ticket and go there and stay there for a week. Trust me, it goes off in like 2 weeks.
I think actually for that, right? In fact, this is coming out of personal experience.
Mm-hmm.
I chose college to do masters. Like, I'm done with my bachelor's degree, and I know masters in visual communication is the stupidest idea.
It's like we were having a team lunch, right?
Yeah.
When you were telling me about that you were gonna go and do a master.
Yeah.
It's like
it's stupid, but if I wanna like secure a job or actually go, like, from my personal experience, I wanna go do music over there, because I think opportunities and the efforts that I do here, if I do it in a more westernized society, there are more opportunities.
You know what? You know what I would do to get your same result with my kind of hustler's mentality. I'll explain what an hustler's mentality is. It's always looking for plus ones, getting one more point, getting a step ahead, a little doing here, trying to do things in a different way. Little things, little one step at a time. You know what I would do? I would actually get a work visa, right? Go there, get a part-time job, stay below my means.
Wait, how would you get a work visa though?
I think you can get that.
No, that's the thing.
Are you sure?
You need to get a job in order to get a work visa. You need to start applying for jobs.
Just apply for some jobs.
With my bachelor's degree in Wales University.
Yeah. Apply for a job in or immigrate. Do legal immigration.
I don't know if it's that.
It's not that hard actually.
I think it's.
I mean, it is hard, obviously. I think I'm not talking. I don't think I know what I'm talking about. It is definitely hard, but I don't think you can easily get a job. You can even get an invite. For example, if you get like a freelance work,
you can get an invite, which is actually the easier way to get it. Yeah. But it's really hard. You need to have like a skill set that the people in that state or that city do not possess. So you're offering them something new, of course, like business side. It's really hard to get a job there, to be honest.
I would find some way to go there and legally work there. Meaning, I wouldn't use, if I go on YouTube, do YouTube there, doesn't mean that I'm earning from United States.
Yeah.
It still means I'm earning from India, right? So even if I go on a tourist visa for 6 months, right, make money online, doesn't mean that I'm making money online out of States. I'll be only paying Indian taxes because my name and everything is registered here. Right? Just because the location changes doesn't mean that it isn't valid. So I would get some sort of a job, something that makes money, play every day for 3, 4, 5, 6 months. And trust me, I'll learn more in that 6 months. It's going to be a lot cheaper than a college education. And way better than a college education and a master's.
Yeah, but if we get the job though, because
even if you don't get the job, take your college tuition fee. Right?
Yeah.
Go there
with a tourist visa.
Yeah.
How
use
long
that
do you
money
stay in a tourist visa?
6 months to a
that's the thing. So here was my plan to do a master's and actually do it well so that I can secure a job after master's, because again, this point, right? You do art school abroad and you come back to your own country, or like India, like especially as we're talking as Indians, right? You go to the US and you study in CalArts. You take that certificate and you come here. You just the investment is just completely gone, right? Like, I think if you like invest like 64 lakhs and then you study in CalArts and you come back to India and you work here,
Not gonna make
you'll
much.
probably get like 10,000 more than your actual salary if you just joined with your bachelor's degree, right?
Yeah, exactly.
The reputation side that you're talking
yeah,
about.
yeah.
But if you like do it well and you secure a job there, then you can actually get what you invested on back.
So it's an if. It's a big if.
It's a big if, and here was my plan. My plan was to like
Is it
college.
worth it to even see? Actually, most arts. Let's say if you want to get a job in Walt Disney Studios, what you need is a portfolio, not a degree.
Yeah.
Nobody gives a damn about your certificate or degree.
Yeah.
And what I'm saying is, you can actually get that portfolio ready by yourself if you're willing to put in the work, right? You can get that portfolio ready, and you can still get the job in 2 years rather than 3 years, which is a big if. And you could actually spend way less money.
Yeah.
That is the thing. I could send my portfolio right now and try to get a job at Disney, right?
Yeah.
I don't think I would. I don't have any animation skill. So I
remember
think
we had like this video idea where you should just apply to
for
CalArts.
CalArts and see if I get
you
in.
get.
I think I'll get in. I'll easily get
get
in. Yeah, easily get in.
Yeah.
Because I know what they're looking for. I get the understanding.
Plus
I wouldn't have gotten in if I had applied 10 years ago. Because I was too young, too underskilled. I'm naive, or I don't know what I was.
You have this whole audition thing in CalArts. You get like this online audition where you can actually like let them know what you do, and you can actually show them what you do, and they actually take that into consideration when they're hiring.
I don't know that.
That is actually so. Yeah.
See, this is the thing. I wouldn't get into CalArts. Why would I get into CalArts? I would actually go there, stay there for 6 months, work on a portfolio, get a job at an animation studio rather than CalArts.
Yeah.
I would make money. See, a business, you're a business. When you're spending money, you're not making money.
Yeah.
I mean, when you're learning at a university, you're putting money away.
Yeah.
Right? But you get a job, you're on the plus. You go from negative to positive instantly. You get a job for even $15,000 a year, which is, I don't think you can survive with that in the States. No. But I think you need at least 35 to 40 per year. 40 per year is like minimum.
Really?
Is what you need. Yeah, $40,000 per annum. 75 is like a good amount in the States, is what I heard. 75 is a salary.
Okay.
Right? But again, so I would just get a portfolio ready, go there and get a job.
Right.
Actually, in the field of art, not in the other fields, in the field of art, you don't need certificates. Yeah. Certificate is a secondary requirement. Yeah. You know what's a primary requirement? Portfolio. Quality of work, skill. I hired you because you were a good video editor. I didn't even ask you what college you were from, right? I didn't even ask Kapil what college he was from.
Yeah.
I mean, I wasn't hiring for a hard thing, right? But people want skill, not a certificate. People valued certificate in the previous generations. People still value certificates. I mean, if you want to be a doctor, you got to get a certificate, obviously. Yes. I don't think I want to exactly go to a doctor who doesn't have a certificate.
I learned it out of YouTube. Like, Jesus Christ.
You know what? Thank you. So yeah, I wouldn't do that. I mean, people value certificates and degrees before because it was hard to test skill. Right? People could lie. Right? It was hard to test skill. You don't have any proof to show skill. Yeah. It's like, I was a good painter. Show me some of your paintings. Oh, it's in my home back then. It's in my village. It's like so many paintings are there. It's like it's hard to bring it. Transportation, storage, display. Yeah. You know, showcase. Everything was hard. So people wanted certificates. That means, okay, if this person has went to this college, he would have had to jump through these hoops, which would have earned him these skills, which I'm sure of will. I know that he'll be able to do the job that I'm trying to offer him right now. Right. So that's why people value certificates. Certificates and degrees. In the world of art, my friend, if you're going after certificates, I don't know what to say.
Like I said, college was just a gateway. I think that's how a lot of people look at it, actually.
Actually, it is.
It's just a gateway because, like I said, right?
People don't know what to do.
Yeah, like getting a job is like actually hard over there. So like the only gateway is like you education is like the easiest way to get there. Financially, really hard, but Yeah.
I get it. The gateway, what do you mean by is like people are clueless after they have completed
Oh
their
no,
school?
no. If you want to go, if your dream is to actually like live abroad, or your profession makes more sense in a westernized society, or whatever country that you want to go, education is the first thing and the easiest way to go there. In fact, a lot of people, every time we talk about like going abroad and actually getting settled there, they're like, "Oh, why don't you consider marriage?" No.
What?
Marriage.
What do you mean?
Oh, like they're like, why don't you like?
Oh wait,
you know
get
what I mean?
married. Oh
Yeah, God.
Now we're
No,
getting
I'm
into
not
illegal
trying to get
stuff.
arrested or some legal issues, but people actually have that mindset. I've seen this in so many places.
It happens. See, another thing, right? I mean, there are people. It works for a good chunk of people. Yeah, a small chunk of people, not a good chunk. A small chunk of people, 30% of the people who study abroad. They're good skill, and they would have done way better if they had gone to a university than not going to a university or college. And what happens is you take that idea and just throw it off at the other 70%. It doesn't work like that. I mean, I've seen a lot of people I've seen more people who have gone abroad, studied art, and wasted away their skill than actually I've seen people who've gone abroad, studied art, and have been doing good. I know like one or two. I know like 5 people who have wasted their money.
Oh.
Right? So it's like the ratio is way too high. Right?
Yeah.
It's like there's no proven path when it comes to art. These are all just gateways. Don't use college as an excuse to figure things out. It's an expensive way to figure things out.
Yeah, it is.
Right? I mean, if you're living in India, just screw it. Just go to a college. If you're in the States, right? What are you doing? What $35,000, $40,000, $50,000 for an education while trying to figure things out, which you're thinking of dropping out on the first or second semester? Is like, oh man, don't do that. Just get a job or save that money, right? Get a job at Baskin Robbins or the local McDonald's or something. And then there's an option over there, right?
Yeah.
If you're in India, drive a Swiggy, drive Uber, drive Zomato, right? Do those things, learn on the side. I would do that. It wouldn't look good. Most people won't consider what I do a job, actually. YouTube or
online
this learning
content
thing.
creation.
Yeah, and then they only started to respect me after I tell them I make 10 times more than they are making. Right? It's like I'm making more than their doctor's son. It's like, holy crap, really? It's like, yes. And they're 35. I'm 25. So, I'm not trying to show off right now or show off or impress people. I'm trying to sort of tell you a reality that I'm facing. People don't consider what I do a job, which is fine. The more you underestimate me, actually, to be honest, and every single time this thing gets into my head, then another thought pops into it. It's like, I don't want to waste time trying to prove other people. So I've never wasted my time trying to prove other people, which has worked really well so far. So I'm just going to continue with that strategy. So yes, right. So what were we talking? Certificates and degrees, worthless. Don't use college as as a way to figure out your things and figure out your thing. It's an expensive way to figure things out. Obviously, learning is a way to figure things out. Trying new things is a figure things out. But learning by paying a lot of money to figure things out is hard.
Consideration. If you have it, sure.
What else? We want to talk about employment. Getting a job in art.
Well, not just in art, college itself. So like right now, I think in our generation, most of the people kind of get it that college is really not that necessary. Not to a point
Learning is necessary, folks. I don't want people to confuse
learning and college.
Yes. Tamil, in my native language, Tamil, our language, Tamil, right? There are 2 kinds of people, they say. Padichavan, padikadavan. Padichavan means someone who has studied and gone to school. Padikadavan means someone who has not gone to school. I think it's a very stupid classification. Right? The classification is right. Padichavan, padikadavan. Gone to school, knowledge and no knowledge. But doesn't mean the Padichavan necessarily doesn't mean he doesn't have knowledge. He has tons of knowledge about tons of things he's learned through experience. Just because someone has gone to college doesn't mean that they have knowledge. just because someone who hasn't gone to college doesn't mean that they don't have
Right.
anything, right?
Thing is, right, the reason I brought that up was because I feel like employment, when it comes to employment, I'm kind of scared. Over here, you didn't ask for certificates. But if I applied for somewhere else, they, even though like if they are like actually impressed with my work, I think they might actually question why I didn't go for college. Or at least if my work isn't like extraordinary, if it's just normal, good enough to actually work in that company. But I think that's when college degree, they're like, why didn't you go to college?
Yeah, those businesses would die out very fast.
Sure, but I think it still exists though.
They exist, and trust me, they're not going to last long. With that kind of, it's not a wrong mentality hold. Again, capitalism. Winner the competition is going to take you out, right? So if I am a competitor and I'm looking solely at your skill, and I feel like I can use your skill to make money for the business, and I hire you, I win over the person who's looking at your certificate but not your skill to get his business up and going. I make money, the business goes up. He doesn't make money, the business goes down, eventually closes.
Right.
Right. It's a simple math. It's a simple thing. Again, not as simple as it is in real life. But see, I would consider asking the question, what college did you see? To get an idea to, okay, what could you have possibly learned? And I would say, if they are promising this, you would have probably learned 50% of that, is what I would think, when you go to college. Especially if someone says Viscom here in India, I know for sure they
haven't learned anything.
Literally anything. So I would do that. Depends, again, very few people might have learned, but others, nope. So things are changing, man. I don't know.
Especially, when I didn't get a chance to go do my master's, right, I was just so sad. Like I would be this dark cloud in my house, just 24/7, just floating around.
If you had gone out?
Yeah, because I genuinely didn't see how I would make it. I still don't. I have my doubts, but I just didn't know what to do after that. I was like, okay, so am I supposed to pitch in Western music to people who really don't? Because I can't force people to like listen to Western music. I can just sing, like them liking it, and I clearly see that they don't really prefer that. So I was genuinely confused. But that's when I had no choice. I was kind of pushed towards the internet. I was like, okay, this is where I have to like reach out to people. And that really did change a lot. Like even for you, right? Internet. Like you can reach out before, like a few years ago, you can't really like, if you want to pitch in your portfolio to Disney, you don't know how to do it. Maybe you have to go in person or you have to. But now you actually, them considering it, them looking at it, you don't know. But you have the opportunity to actually send it over. And that's such a huge thing. It bugs me so much when people say like, oh, the internet is spoiling kids. No, you're not using it right.
It depends. Internet is like a fire, right? It's like fire. So you can use fire to burn down a house or light a candle. Right? Depends on how you use it. So the problem is not with fire, but it's with the person who's using it, right? But I would say a lot of the internet, a good chunk of the internet it's triggering people into burning down the house. So and I have mixed responses on the internet. Would we be better off without the internet? I don't think so.
No,
I don't think so. I wouldn't exist. This business wouldn't exist, right? Are we too much into it? I think so. I think it's another topic.
How is it wrong though?
It's not wrong.
Right.
Is fire wrong?
No.
Is fire right? Is fire right?
Yeah.
What do you mean it's right? It's not wrong or right.
What do you mean? No, I'm talking about the first one you said. It depends on where it is.
Fire is fire. Yeah, it's the same thing with the internet. So I could use the internet for the good thing, or I could use it to bring someone down or bring people down or bring myself down, which is what most people are doing these days. So, right? So it all depends. The internet has made the place a very egalitarian thing. And I think we need to really finish this thing because it's getting a bit longer. So I would want to add this one little thing, which is we are living possibly in one of the greatest times ever in the history of humanity, amidst all this pandemic and coronavirus. And trust me, things were way worse.
Yeah.
If you just take up a little history book, oh boy, you just take a little history book, take a couple of history classes. Things were way, 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 way worse. Your ability to go into the hall of your room, right, of your house, turn on a bloody switch and light pops up. That's a luxury people didn't have 150 years back or 200 years back. Your ability to go out safely after 9 p.m. at night is a luxury that people didn't have 300 years ago. Your ability to wake up in the morning, and the biggest worry that you have right now is who won, Biden or Trump, right? Right? Or what happened in somewhere other, who got cancelled, or who said this on Twitter last night. If that is your biggest worry, trust me, you're having it nice. You are having it really, really, really nice. People had it worse. I mean, take 1920s for example. People lived in constant fear of death for 4 years during the Great War. Right? Yeah. Think about it. You're going to sleep. Oh, will a bomb drop off my head? Right?
Yeah.
During the Second World War, right? What what people faced in Germany. What people had to go through in Britain. Yeah. Oh, the Germans are going to drop a bomb on London tonight? I don't know, right? And you're going into the battlefield. Young people, untrained people like you and me, right? Who have worked out for 3 times in their life, being enlisted in the army.
I'd feel bad for the army if we both went in to fight. Jesus.
Hey man, they showed up. Actually, gotta have respect. I mean, right? People they didn't know. And most of them are trained, obviously. But there are during the height of the war, people were just enlisting just young people, right? And people were getting them ready during high school. If you see those old videos of American high school PT training, it looks like a war camp.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I mean, good that they gotten really good. You looked at them, they were all lean, they were all fully muscular, and they're all extremely agile, and they're climbing walls and going through ropes and everything's crazy. The punchline is, you're having it really, really nice during these times. People would say, there are still people living in poverty. It's fact of life, reality of life. What can you do? You do your best. You help the next person next to you the best as you can. Stop blaming the bloody system, for Christ's sake. Take some responsibility, right? And then just do the thing, because everyone has the opportunity if they're willing to look for it. There is a door. It's just hidden somewhere.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with that. The percentage of people making it in the art is low compared to everything else, but there's always opportunity. Especially you have to take the internet into consideration, because even when I do freelance shows, I'm not sending them anything else other than my Instagram profile. And then
you're getting jobs.
I'm getting so many shows. I make so much financially. Even sometimes more than the steady job that I have, and it helps me so much, to invest in myself, actually, because I don't have to worry about saving that up, because it's freelance money.
Exactly. See, this is good, and especially if someone is telling you that you are oppressed, that you are being put down, most likely don't listen to them. They're most likely not true. Most of the time. 90% of the time, especially, right? Us being kids here in India, right? I'm just hearing people who are living in first world. First world, what do you call it? First world? First world, the European countries and the American countries. And they're I'm oppressed. It's I'm laughing at the socks off. It's buddy, you haven't seen oppression yet. It's no. It's I just laugh at every single time when someone in the States saying, I'm oppressed. Buddy, you're living in the United States of America.
The next time you come to India, don't go to Taj Mahal. Come to my place.
we are not even. I don't think most people here.
No, we're not oppressed.
We're not oppressed as well, right? Most likely when someone says you're oppressed, the system's out to get you, the society's putting you down. What's society?
You can choose
Society-
to ignore.
Yeah, you can
That
choose.
is a power
choose
you
to
have
ignore
now.
it. That is one. And when most of the time people say society, right? It's like society isn't standing in your front of your front door and telling you what to do and what not to do. Trust
Yeah.
me, it's actually their voice which you're getting influenced by, right? Is the problem. So don't get into all this. I would say that if you're young, don't buy into all this crap.
Yeah.
I bought into all of this crap. Trust me, as a person who bought into all this, stayed oppressed for a long time.
Can't use that word.
I can tell you, I was an idiot. So even if you have it worse off, right? Maybe you are truly having there are some things that are actually putting you down. Trust me, it's not as worse as things were when you put things in perspective. And there are people who have had it worse than you, and there are people who have gotten out. So just wanted to end it right there. I think we're going to get some slack for the last thing. Okay, sure. You don't know about the true systemic natures of the realities of life that is going on, the neo postmodernist view of this. Like, what words are you using? Stop it. Go and pick a shovel and dig a hole or something.
Look, there might always be 2 to 3 cases that are different, but this is just talking to the majority, at least. And
we are privileged, folks.
We are. We can accept that.
If you're living in 21st century, you are privileged. Privileged. All right? People say some are privileged, some are... No. If you're living in 21st century, got a phone, you're privileged. Simple.
I can see them triggered.
And with that said, we're going to end this podcast right there. Yeah. Right? Any last words, Pravi?
Well, no, not really.
Not really. No. All right. Good.
Yeah.
You wanna give a tring and tring?
You guys are gonna get a bit of Praveen.
Yes, that is it, folks. That is it. The end of the thing. You just need to do a tring like that. Yeah.
Give the outro now.
Bye-bye. Skeshbook podcast.
All right, we'll actually roll the actual intro now. I mean, outro.
Bye-bye.